What's up, everybody? What's up? Shady Temple here. From the light of the darkness with my little alien friend here. Hey, I'm gonna light some incense here, and then we're gonna blast back to 1997 or something, and we're just gonna talk about some things about my life. So this has nothing to do with anything at all. This is like some 2:30 in the morning blibber blabber bullshit. Yeah. So if you like 2:30 a.m. blibber blabber bullshit, then you come to the right place. If you don't, then you can turn the channel to some other 2:30 a.m. blibber blabber bullshit. There's plenty of it out there, right? Yeah. Ah. This is my flavor of it. We're gonna light some incense first, because that's how we do it around here. Not because it's spiritual, just because the place stinks. I mean, so we'll light some incense then. Thanks, Mortovsus. Hell yeah, I'm here for you too. Thank you. What's up, Lady in Cloak? Hey. So, I guess tonight, one of the things that I was going to kind of give you all a little brief rundown about was what my life has been since getting into black magic, what my life has been like since I started this YouTube channel. What has my reality actually been like? Opposed to what you see on YouTube, right? Because most of the time the two do not intermesh fully and truly like you would think. I mean, they do, but at the same time they don't. You're viewing me through a screen, right? And all of you can base your assumptions based on what you see, based on what you hear, based on what you feel from me and through the screen, right? You can base all types of assumptions on what kind of person I am, what my character is, my likes, my dislikes, what makes me tick as a person, what my triggers might be. A lot of you probably know that if you watch me long enough. There's been a lot of you that have watched for a really long time, and that really, to be honest with you, it blows my fucking mind off. I really it. I don't know. I can't believe it, but here we are, right? Here we are. I think I've been doing this on YouTube now for 8 years. 8 years. In that time, there have been people that no one even knew who the fuck they were that are millionaires, that are living lives that we could only fucking dream of. How did it happen? I guess because they're that awesome. Well, that, a little bit of luck, and a lot of hard work. A lot of fucking hard work. A lot of consistency. That's something that I think that a lot of people in the magical community overlook, is the fact that in this realm, in this physical realm, it's always going to require some hard work and some consistency. No matter fucking what. No matter what. There's a price to fucking pay, dude. Oh yeah. There is no free lunch in this realm. whatsoever. Whatsoever. Now, I'll tell you all that, like, do you think that there's not, like, sacrifices involved in shit? Let me tell you a little story about a dude that lived probably 12 to 15 years ago. This guy, he had a wife and he had a family and he had a beautiful, like, 3,500 square foot home, a thriving business, like everything that you would think a person would want in life. This guy had it. This dude had it, right? At least, like, on paper, he had it. Like what people would consider to be the American dream. But of course, like, yeah, there were problems. There was trouble in paradise, dude. What was the trouble in this paradise? Well, after 3 children were conceived, all of a sudden, the husband didn't exist anymore. All of a sudden, everything that he did every day, the sacrifices that he made, it all went unnoticed. And it all just, like, faded away into the background. But, like, every single day he was there, like, working and working and trying to make it and, like, trying to be seen and trying to be like, hey, like, here I am, like, what about me? Like, I was here before all of this. I was here before everything that you're looking at and everything that you're sitting on. I was here before all of it. Like, there was a time before none of that other shit mattered at all, right? And it's funny, like, how quickly you can be replaced by shit. And so that was the way that I felt. That was becoming my life. Like, basically, like, this silent actor in my own movie that no one understood and that no one could hear and that they hardly ever saw. But yet I was necessary to some end, to some means, like, I had to be there, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Those numbers gotta match up every month, some kind of fucking way. Mm-hmm. They always need you for that. And I think that's, like, one of the toughest things that, like, if, well, I don't even say a man, if a person has ever had to wrestle with the fact that, like, all right, there's been times in all of y'all's lives where you've been reduced down to nothing but a number, but have you ever actually truly been nothing but a number? A lot of you don't know what that motherfucking shit is. You might think you do, but you don't. You don't. So there I was, like, living this life trying to be everything that I thought I was supposed to be. And like during that time, I was like immersing myself into Catholicism because that is what everyone around me wanted, right? I thought. And if I gave that to them, that would be all that I would need to like finally just be loved and be accepted and like get the things that I want and need in life, right? That's all we're doing. That's all anyone's doing is trying to get what they want and they need. Not many people are, but they're trying, you know? So keep trying. But anyway, we're going to continue on with the story. Okay, just a minute. Just a minute. I'm in psychosis. I'm not in fucking psychosis at all. I don't know what strain of weed it is. Good as a motherfucker. That's what it's called. It's called as good as a motherfucker, boy. Mm-hmm. All right. So anyway, I'm living this life, right? I'm living this life, and I'm like 32, 33 years old at the time, and well, all right, let's just take it back a little bit. All right, so all right, some really crazy shit happened that really got me on my path. That was really crazy, and Azazel had a lot to do with this. So I went through some really crazy opiate addiction, okay, and this was during my marriage. Um, this was kind of like towards the endish of my marriage because by that time I was already consumed by the drug addiction and like nothing else mattered. By at that point I was kind of already lost and gone. Um, but I was a project manager at a very large company, nationwide company. I was kind of like the golden child that everyone loved and everyone wanted me to do their work and blah blah. I was making like almost 100 grand a year. This was back in like 2011. So that's when like 100 grand meant something, right? So, um, this was like right around the time that I was starting to get into magic. And I ended up in a situation at work where I was falsely accused of stealing some jewelry from a person's home. Now, I did find the jewelry outside on the ground. It was a fucking gold chain, dude, and I put it in my truck door. The next day, when they were looking for it and they called the cops, I was like, dude, I found it outside. It wasn't even in their driveway. It was on the fucking side of the street. I think someone else, there was a plumber there before me, and I think that he took a bunch of shit from them and dropped that. Anyways, I got arrested for it. I was making like 100 grand a year. I had no reason to steal anything from anyone, nor would I ever. But that had to happen, apparently. Um, the night that I was arrested for that, I had my first sleep paralysis incident. And that is when I had this like beastly creature weigh itself down upon me, waking me up from my sleep and scaring the ever living fucking shit out of me. And it said telepathically to me, "What are you going to do now?" And it was really strange, and that like awoke something inside of me. And like I didn't know that at the time. It didn't make sense to me. I didn't know anything about any of this shit, you know. All I knew is that my world was crumbling and falling apart like every day more and more. Like one, like, so like on a Monday, let's say like on Monday, you're a golden child of a company. You're making $95,000 a year. You got so much money in your bank account that money doesn't matter. You just put 1,000 square foot addition on your home. You got a wife and you got kids, and everything is great, okay? On Monday. By Friday, you've been arrested. You have your that $95,000 job of yours is gone. You just had your second daughter 3 weeks ago, don't fucking forget. And now you have these weird spiritual entities pressing upon you in your sleep to top it all off. Like all in the same day, like all on a Friday. Like my whole world fell apart on a Friday afternoon. Basically, yeah. Hail Satan, right? No, the cat's name is Loverboy. I love you, dude. Oh my god. So, yeah. My whole fucking life fell apart between the hours of like uh 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. on a Friday afternoon. Unbeknownst to me. Yeah, it was pretty wild. So, that happened. Right? Yeah. So that shit happened to me, right? And it was fucked up, dude. So, like I told you, I lost my job and shit. Not only did I lose my job, but these motherfuckers blocked me from getting unemployment. Okay, I got unemployment for like a month, so I got like, I don't know, it wasn't much money, but they took me to court and I had to fucking pay it all back when I didn't even have a fucking job. Okay, and so like this is what really sucked. Okay, all right, so at the time I was making like 95,000 a year. My wife was making like 50 or whatever, and we had 3 kids and blah blah. We went to like having to live on her salary, which was not shit compared to what we were used to living on, right? But we couldn't get any assistance whatsoever. Nothing. No food stamps, no WIC. I had 2 kids. I had a 3 week old. But because I owned a house and because we had some cars, we couldn't get a fucking thing. And so we were literally living on like $60 a week for 4 of us on for food during this time. And that was fucking crazy. And that's why I'm like, fuck this government sometimes too, because like we really needed that shit at the time and we couldn't get anything from them. Nothing. And we were really having to fucking make it work. Like actually. Mm-hmm. So that happens, and I have these fucking like things coming to me at night. And like it just started happening like every single fucking night that I would go to bed. I would have a spirit that would start to like come into the bed with me and start to scare the shit out of me. And I didn't know like what the fuck was going on. Um and all I could do was like to begin to like research online, like what the fuck is happening here, you know? And like that's the thing about the spirits that you work with. And being in the age of Aquarius now, the age of information, had it not been for the internet, I would probably be going insane right now. Never actually really knowing what I was going through, what I was experiencing. I wouldn't have been able to make sense of shit, most likely. But every single day, they were leading me to here and here and here and here and here and here and like, look at this, look at this. Ooh, and I started to begin to realize and understand like this is what was happening to me. This is what was going on. And like, holy shit, like, whoa, like there's magic. Like these spirits control reality. Like, what? Like, what the fuck? And then, like, I stumbled upon, like, shit like Michael W. Ford and Become a Living God, E.A. Coetting, and, you know, this whole world of, like, black magic and witchcraft. Like, it wasn't because I ever gave a fuck about any of it. I never gave a fuck about any of this shit. Like, I wish I would have. I have a 16-year-old daughter that when she was like fucking 5 was wigging was wowing out on fucking Harry Potter for her whole life, and I totally missed it like a fucking brain dead fucking idiot. Cuz I was like, you know, fuck. Like, dude, I missed out on so much shit. I have missed out on so much shit. It's my fault. Like, I got so swept away by magic. So swept away by magic. Like, this whole motherfucking thing that you're watching now was created by it. It wasn't always. It didn't used to be like even fucking 10 years ago, dude. Like, what the fuck is even happening anymore? What the fuck is even going on? Right? Do you any of y'all fucking know? Do you? Does anybody up in this bitch know what the fuck is going on? Please. Enlighten us all. Yeah. All right, Jeff, what's your idea? Jeremiah says he's clueless. What are your thoughts, Jeff? It's gotta be more than emojis, bruh. I love y'all. All of you. Mm-hmm. Even all of you that are wishing my destruction. I love you especially. Because it's all of you motherfuckers that created me. So how could I ever hate you? But, alright, so yeah. So anyway, around the time that the black magic took over my life, some really crazy shit happened. So it was in 2012. I had a crazy motherfucking near death experience, which, oh my god. I can get into that. I guess I can tell you all about that real quick. Mm, so, this had a lot to do with opening my path, but also it has provided an endless amount of confusion in my existence ever since this happened. And, like, this wasn't the first time. Like, my first near death experience was when I was like 4 years old in a swimming pool, and I almost drowned, and my dad's friend scooped me up and saved me. I remember the whole fucking thing. The second time was a four-wheeler accident when I was like 8, and I was knocked unconscious. They thought I was dead, but like neither of those times do I remember like dying or going into like another state. Like the first time I was conscious the whole time. So was I drowning? I was at the bottom of the pool. I don't know if I was drowning yet. Um, the four-wheeler accident, I just lost consciousness. I don't remember anything. Now, uh, were actually there was a third time when I was coming back from beach week when I was 18, and I got into a really crazy car accident on Interstate 95 at like 11 o'clock at night, where the car in front of me hit a person that walked out in the road, and we hit this guy going like 65 miles an hour. It looked fucking crazy. It looked like a rubber person. It didn't look real. It looked like a fake rubber doll. But I didn't get hurt in that. That really shook me and fucked me up. That was the first time I ever saw a person mangled and bloody and fucked like you would see on a movie. I put a sleeping bag over the person. Um, but anyway, the thing that I'm talking about though, this happened in 2012. This was about 6 months after I had gotten arrested and had begun having these weird like nightly visitations from like spirits and demons. Because of my arrest, I felt like I could not work in the city that I lived in anymore. And I felt the only thing that I could do professionally was to go work outside of my service area where people didn't know me. And so I did that. I got a job working for a company working like 2 hours away, making good money still. Not the money I was making, but it was still okay. Company car, phones, computers, commissions, all that good shit. Um, so I'm working for these people. I have to wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, drive 2 hours, work all day, drive 2 hours home. It was rough. And I started getting used to like falling asleep on the way home on the interstate and like actually like driving while I was asleep. Like I actually like trained myself to be able to do it. Dangerous as fuck, but that was how I was living my fucking crazy life at the time. Well, one night I was on the way home and I was coming up to an intersection in the city where I live, and this car was gonna like try to beat the red light. This is like a Volkswagen that was in front of me. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it too. He floored it and I floored it. At the last second, he changed his mind and locked his brakes up, and I fucking went into a fucking fishtail skid at like 50 miles an hour to not run into the back of this idiot. I was an idiot too. But um like I was going sideways. And as I'm going sideways, I can see that I'm like coming up on some stopped cars that are going to turn left at this intersection. They're just sitting there. They don't even know I'm coming for them at like 50 miles an hour sideways, right? There's nothing I can do. I'm just like, holy fucking shit. It all kind of goes into like slow motion. And as I am approaching these vehicles going sideways, I leave my body and I'm watching this from above, and I watch my car goes through the other vehicles, and it turned itself just like this, and like it put my car was in between two other cars. Like they were going to turn left. I wasn't even in a lane. My car ended up in between them and didn't touch neither one of them. It was fucking nuts. Like I just sat there in shock, like, ugh. And as I was out of my body, I saw a huge spinning wheel, like in the sky, like over next to me, like a Ferris wheel. I sat there for probably like 30 seconds, and then I wanted to go and chase down the dude in the Volkswagen and find his motherfucking ass and be like, what the fuck, dude? But I didn't do that. That moment, like, it shook me to my core. And at that moment, like, it was Asmodeus, like, possessed me. And somehow, I don't even know how I did this. I can't tell you to this day. I went home, and for the next 6 months, I started to put everything together that I would need to formulate my own restoration company. Have I ever owned a company before? No. Do I have a master's in business? No. Do I have any money saved up or capital or any fucking thing for that matter? Business credit, anything? College degrees? No. I had a high school diploma. I had a technical school certificate. But all of a sudden, I became absolutely possessed. And I started feverishly working night and day on formulating a business plan. I didn't even know what a fucking business plan was the goddamn day before. I figured it out. I put it together. 6 months down the road, I left that motherfucking job and started my company out of my garage in my home. In 3 months, I had an office. My little brother, Hunter, I love you, dude, was my first employee. He was working at O'Charlie's before that. He's got his own company now. Hail Satan. In 3 months, I was out of the garage into an office. Within 6 months, I had 6 employees. Within the first 18 months, we had done $2.5 million in revenue, and I had been featured in a few magazines and on a website. Within the first 3 years, we had 30 employees, 20 trucks on the road, 5 girls in the office. Me. I did that shit. I don't know how. I don't have it anymore. Well, yeah, that's one thing that I failed to mention. So I built all this crazy shit up with magic, right? Yeah. One fucking day, though, one day, a crazy demon came knocking on my door, and that crazy demon's name was Crystal Meth. He came along at a fucking time where I was burning the candle at both ends. I was extremely vulnerable, and I had already been fucking with Adderall and shit. I started fucking doing it just to fucking be everything to everyone, so I could stay up and not have to sleep and just work and work and work and work. I wasn't fucking off. I wasn't doing it being a fucking dumb fuck. I was doing it and killing myself, right? That's stupid too. I mean, that's not there's no glory in that either. But I guess if anything, I can say that I was trying to fucking do it for the right reasons. In the beginning. Yeah, in the beginning, I had good intentions. And I think that's the thing, right? For a lot of us, when we initially embark in anything in our life, no matter what it is, we usually do have the best of intentions, don't we? We do. But something fucking happens. What the fuck happens along the way that takes your sight and your vision away from what initially got you so interested in whatever it is to begin with? What the fuck happened? A lot of things, apparently, right? A lot of things happen. And with that, too, like we grow and we change. Like, I guess really and truly, like none of us should ever expect to remain the same. And if that does happen, that's the problem. If you're not growing, that's the problem. And that sucks, you know? Like you can't force growth. You can't. Like you're only going to do it when you're ready to do it. Like I went through 5 years of insane fucking drug addiction and being in like entirely lost before I could even begin to find myself again. And like that has only like been and within the last 4 years that I have been doing that. And I'm like still feel like I'm at a total starting point. Meth is a crazy drug that will take your entire soul away from you. And like that's why I can never ever even look at it or touch it again because I know I can't. And like I have been struggling these last 4 years, dude, since I haven't been on drugs like a motherfucker, dude. And like I think about it all the time like, dude, fuck. Like maybe I should. Maybe I fucking should. You know? Like, maybe if I did some meth, I could answer those emails. Maybe if I fucking did some meth, I wouldn't be so tired and I would get this done. Maybe if I did some meth, I would fucking look better and you'd love me. You know, like. Aw, thanks, Jeremiah. 9 months on the chosen one, and you too, Brent. Aw, fuck yeah, dude. 11 months. Thank you, brother. I love you. And I'm sorry I haven't been posting like hardly anything on the members only shit because there's no excuse. It's gonna be coming, y'all. And thanks for sticking with me, and I love you. Thanks for supporting me and what I do. And um, dude's got a question here. I'm gonna heart it. What is the interpretation of dreams? I recently dreamed that I was empty of people on a large ship. Well, man, I mean, that to me would be indicative of you on your spiritual journey and that it does require a lot of isolation and a lot of alone time and like typically like where you're going a lot of those people aren't going to be able to come with you. And that's like one of the most heartbreaking things about a spiritual awakening, isn't it? Like there's so many people that won't be able to come with you. Like there's so many people that just remain the same and you have changed in such a radical way that like the vibrational frequency doesn't match anymore. They may even think that you're fucking crazy. But that's okay. Because you know who's crazy, right? Hmm? So, yeah, that's my condensed version of like my life's insanity. Um, like where I've been the last 12 years of my life or 13 years. It's been really crazy. It's been really painful. Um, I've gained a lot, but I've lost so fucking much that like I've lost so much that I can't even begin to tell you. Ugh. It's really crazy. And like, is it worth it? I don't know. Like, you tell me. What's the alternative? Or is there an alternative? No. I don't really think that there is an alternative to being who and what you are in this life. And being who and what you are may just put you in a very isolated place all by yourself for a very long time, if not indefinitely. I do think that, like, there will be a time where we will all be forced to spend a great deal of time with ourselves. And I think one of the biggest reasons why we spend so much time watching everyone else is because we're avoiding that. We're avoiding that. I think I am avoiding that. Y'all might like to watch me, but I don't, and I wouldn't. It's probably like the same for you guys. Crazy, huh? Mm-hmm. So Mortovo has had a good question, and thank you too, Brent. Genuine question. Are the things you've lost the things that no longer serve you on your path? Like many say who practice magic. I don't know, man. I don't think that I can tell you with certainty that everything that I have lost on my path was because it no longer served me. I think really a lot of most everything that I lost on my path was because I no longer served it. Like, basically, I've lost everything by being a selfish motherfucker. How about that? So, with that being said, can a hypothesis be made that black magic can lead you to being a selfish asshole? Maybe. Or maybe I just didn't do it right. That's a good possibility there, too. That's probably the answer, really, because I can't blame this on magic, right? No, I can't. I can't. Absolutely not. I could be in a million different places, in a million different positions, and I could be a million different people by now if I really would have wanted to. If I could have really utilized magic properly and not have been so selfish. I think the selfishness is the biggest part of any downfall that I've ever experienced, like knowingly or not. And of course, like, I was a insane drug addict, so like, yeah, of course, selfishness comes with that. But selfishness also comes with this newfound sense of power that comes along with black magic too. And you do have to respect that, respect other people, respect yourself. I think that I got to the point where I don't think that I respected anything anymore. I got to that point where there was no respect for anything, especially not for me. And it's crazy, like, how you can act. You don't even realize it if you get too caught up. And I was caught up. I was definitely caught up. Like, especially like during my drug addiction, like, that's when I was like, gaining some like popularity and things, and like people were kind of knowing who I was, and blah, 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 you know, all during that time, like fueled by drugs and shit. Like, unpure things that weren't real, that weren't true, unfortunately. Only because they were riddled with an underlying sense of like, I was fucked up on drugs. Oh no, I got a notification warning that a system permanent ban will occur if the live video does not end within 1 minute. Holy shit. Well, damn, that will suck, I guess. that would be that would be like suiting for this live stream. Wouldn't it? Yeah. That would be awesome if it just all just said bleh. That'd be wild. We're gonna have to go. Oh, I might just like inadvertently end the video and make you think that we got deleted, but I wouldn't do that. I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, we're gonna wait a minute. We're gonna wait, and then we're gonna end it. Mm-hmm. Just because. What, y'all want me to leave you hanging? You want me to keep you wondering? Is that what you want? All right, Jeff. Well, you're already gonna know that I'm gonna do it, so it's not even gonna be funny. It won't even be funny